shoppers. Better cook those reds, cold butter my fists, we fire starters. One out of a million marine show types. Always get a feeling that I won't deny that work. Never could toss. Look at my eyes.
Hey.
Hey.
Let's see. Give everybody a few minutes to get here. This was not planned past the last 20 minutes.
If you hear a pup whining, I had to put mine in the crate for a few minutes, and he's not liking it.
Oh, poor pitiful mistreated baby.
His crate is like for a Doberman, and he's a poodle. It's like he has a penthouse. And he still thinks he's mistreated when he has to go in there.
You know what, Mama Dukes? There you go. You might want to come in here, baby.
Was she brought up too?
Mama Dukes, if you decide you have something you want to share as we're talking, there's the link. I will gladly let you come up. Her name was not mentioned this go.
Good.
Hello, everyone coming in. The membership link is clicked to the top if you would like to be a member of the channel. Look, Kendall, I'm getting so good at this.
Good job.
While you're at it, hop on over before we get started and get me a thumbs up, please. Inside the purple purse. Is this private? Oh, wait, that's a name. Or did you change names? No, it's not private. Hi, Mama Dukes. Did you want on camera?
No, if you can put, how do I change it?
Let me remove you. Let's see. Like settings. Oops. Oh, Dana changed her name. Okay. Hey, Dana. Threw me off changing your name. She'll probably be back here in a minute. So first off, let me just say there is this rumor that come up. I guess this started yesterday, Kendall, about the unaliving situation.
I didn't hear nothing about it until like midnight last night. I started getting DMs. I got one DM, and I answered it because I thought it was, suspicious to me. And then I put my phone down, wake up about 5:30, and woke up to
I fixed it.
A bunch of them.
Oh, that is amazing. The purple purse. She's going to, her channel is going to be about DV. Absolutely will be supporting you. Drop your link to your channel. Y'all go sub over to Inside the Purple Purse. So yesterday at some point, somebody goes around messaging different creators and accuses April, aka Fancy, and Sarah, Cat Sarah, of being behind somebody unaliving themselves. So first off, if you're going to do that, you better be backing it up and be factual. Do not throw those allegations at anybody. You'll know I can't stand them, but don't throw those accusations at people nilly. People are being charged with crimes for that because it is illegal to do. It's bullying, and it is now becoming a pretty a serious thing where they are going after people for that. Now, do I think that it kind of held some weight at first? Knowing what I know about her, yeah, I do. I'm not going to be surprised if it doesn't happen because the woman is relentlessly mean and evil. So, however,
and all I have to say about it is no matter how I feel about Fancy or Sarah, I think putting something like that on anyone's shoulders without the proof to back it up is disgusting. I do not stand with it. I do not stand with anybody that was participating in it.
No, and we got thrown as being involved.
Absolutely not.
Well, this is the first time I'm hearing about it. Hell, I was on Nina's live all day yesterday.
Well,
my interrogation was full of it. Everybody was expecting me to make videos about it. No, absolutely not. And while we're on this subject, since our name's being thrown into some of the disgusting things that's been said and done, when the miscarriage rumor went around, Brandy and I also did not agree with that and did not speak on that either. But we are being told, or she's telling people that we are a part of that group. No, we're not.
No, we all
right. Go ahead. Sorry.
We on that part. I mean, we all said it was pretty disgusting. to even discuss. I mean, that's too personal. You don't be bringing personal stuff like that up. I mean, even though we know how April is, she'll throw anything personal out there that she can. But
that's my thing. Just because she does it doesn't mean that we're going to go against our morals and do it. I think talking about anyone's loss of a child, whether it's a miscarriage before you know you're pregnant or up to birth, is a very delicate time in anyone's life. And I wasn't talking about it. There was never a video by me made. There was never a comment from me making it. And I told her that if she can show me one place where I publicly said anything about it or made fun of her, I'll write $1,000 check to her charity of choice. Because it is not who I am, and I would not do it, did not do it.
So Rebrain has to start over because they're in left field.
Yeah, I kind of am too. So I need to fill in on what's going on.
So, evidently, Rebrand, yesterday, a person messaged Bree, or somebody popped in Bree's live. I think somebody popped in Fancy's live and accused her and Sarah of bullying this other person named Sarah Jane Anderson, which I think that was when the same person that people were getting confused with Pink Hat Sarah. I think there was some confusion a few months ago between the two.
There's a story there.
There is a story there. I don't know the whole story because it's not my circus. I wasn't involved. I have no clue. And I'm totally confused by it. Other than now, this person's come out and said her brother. They found her passed away Friday from an unaliving situation. And it is because of Fancy and Sarah. On Saturday, they said her TikTok accounts were deleted, is what they told Fancy. There's an echo.
It may be me.
It may be me. Let's see.
I don't know. I'm outside. Y'all can hear the birds and stuff. Might hear a goat or a pig holler here in a minute.
Is it a bad echo, bitch? Always a story with the Fancy circus. Yes. So, this person, evidently Bree went live with it yesterday. I don't know. It's a TV in the background, so it may be Kendall.
Really?
Oh,
I don't have a TV in the background.
Hang on. You're hearing Big Daddy's music. Let me turn it off.
Oh.
We'll blame it on Big Daddy today.
Big Daddy. It's Big Daddy's fault. It's fine.
Yep. Is it better now?
Is that better, guy? I think so.
Okay. Yeah, you're probably hearing Big Daddy's music.
So I'm confused on where it all started. Like, I guess Bree went live, Ryan went on Bree's live and was like, I don't think this is accurate, whatever else. And they started trying to blame Natasha, or Bree did. I'm not going to put Ryan's name in that. I think from what I'm understanding, Ryan was defending the situation as not being accurate. So I went over and watched Natasha's live on Twitch. And this is where I'm coming in totally. Mom Dukes, I'm gonna mute you until you need to talk.
Okay.
And so she got a hold of Fancy and was talking to Fancy about it. They were explaining all the situation. I do think it was a total bullshit thing because they literally went to Natasha and said, would you like some ammunition to go at Fancy with? Or some ammunition against Fancy or something along those lines. So when somebody comes with information and they want to give you information that's serious and they use the word ammunition, that's the first clue that it's a bullshit thing. And so when Natasha figured that out pretty quickly, she ain't stupid. Now, if it would have been accurate information, she'd have probably used it, but she was going to vet it. That's for damn sure. I would have vetted it had somebody come to me, because that's serious allegations to put out there at somebody. So in this live, Fancy's over there connecting Kendall with Bree, and the Colleen board situation in with this. Evidently now they're talking to law. 1 minute she said she's talking to attorney, next minute she's going to be contacting people today about, I don't know. Who knows? Okay, this person, who cares, is new, I'm sure. The brother came into Bree's live and started commenting about it. Ryan came in later and shared what she knew about the bullying and that the Sarah Jane had messaged her previously. Okay, thank you. That's a gist of how some of that got started. When you go to this person's TikTok, Natasha showed the TikTok. The TikTok is all gypsy stuff and stuff about Dan and all of these things. So it's a very suspicious thing. I have an opinion that is strictly an opinion, and I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to voice that right now, maybe later. However, the fact that Kendall was getting thrown in, connected with Bree over Colleen, and now this situation and it being lumped together is utter bullshit.
I haven't even followed Bree in months. As a person, I think Bree's okay. I lay in the middle of Fancy is all about hate, and Bree is all about believing everything Gypsy says. She farts, she believes it. I'm in the middle, so I don't support either one of them. I haven't followed Bree in months. I don't get on the Bree train. Like I said, as a person, she's okay. As her content, I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it.
I unfollowed today. I'm horrible about unfollowing people because I just leave them there. I don't pay any attention. And then I realized I was still following today. So I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm done.
Yeah, I don't follow her. I don't believe half the stuff of what I believe she believes it, but I don't believe it. So I'm not going to follow it. I don't care nothing about following Bree. I am not with Bree. I don't talk to Bree. I don't have a relationship with Bree. Period. The last time I talked to Bree was for Sarah. Isn't that funny? For Pink Hat Sarah, because she was under the impression that Bree had posted her child. And what I knew of Bree, I didn't think at the time what I knew of Bree, I didn't think Bree would do anything like that. I went to Bree and asked her, hey, are you behind that page that posted Pink Cat's baby? Because no matter what, we shouldn't be posting babies. She didn't even know what I was talking about. And I went back to Sarah and I said, I talked to Bree.
Allegedly didn't know what you were talking about.
Right. And I said, I talked to Bree. She claims she doesn't even know what I'm talking about. But I promise you, you have my word. I will continue to try to figure out who posted your child, and I will try to get it down. But that I don't have anything to do with Bree. And not long after that, I blocked Bree because it was blah, 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 blah about Gypsy, and I don't want to hear it. So that's the last time I even spoke to Bree.
Rebrand, you are not wrong on this one. Jesus effing Christ. Meanwhile, the GRB camp is sitting back laughing that the fluff has taken and talk off of them. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because now they got everybody fighting again. Everybody. But here's what we're not going to do, April. You are not going to sit there and lump us in with these people. We are not involved. I did not talk about your miscarriage. Hell, I was friends with you for a few years, didn't even know about it. Only thing I've ever said, and I said privately, I'm going to go and say it publicly. The only thing I ever said was that I thought it was weird because you had told me you had PCOS and you thought you could never get pregnant, which is how you ended up pregnant with Sarah, because it was an accident. That's all I knew. That's all I'm going to say about it. I never said anything else publicly about it. For one thing, we shouldn't be.
No, we should not. No matter how we feel about somebody, there's certain things we don't talk about. People with empathy and compassion don't talk about it. Because what if it was true? That's painful. I know she puts a lot of pain on each other, but that's not us doing it. She's got to stand in front of her maker and account for the things she does. I'm not going to be on that little group that little train. That kind of stuff, children, the unaliving situation, things like that, to me is off limits. I don't care how I feel about somebody. And now trying to throw it in there that Natasha is probably behind it. What?
So
this just is to get more bullshit going between the creators, and it's ridiculous.
the thing with Pink Hat Sarah, we went to the account. I couldn't find the account. Somebody finally sent it to me and said, here's the one they're talking about, because I couldn't find it. And the actual video. And I commented on there, this baby needs to be removed from this. Period. I don't care if the picture's public. Cover the baby, remove the baby, something. But please. They have not responded. They haven't done anything with it.
I tried to get it down to and try to figure out who it was. I went to several people and nobody will claim it. But of course they won't claim it.
No, and they're not. We can't prove either way. We can't prove it was Bree, and we can't prove it wasn't.
I still don't believe it was Bree, even though I don't have anything for Bree. I still don't believe it was Bree. I don't.
Huh? Yeah. It's dry, baby. They're drying. So y'all know, I told y'all that Dave was leaving today, and then they called him last night and said, change plans, leave Sunday. So he's home for a few more days.
But linking us all in as one big group, we're not. I don't have anything against Ryan and Court personally, but I don't talk to them. They don't talk to me. I mean, we just don't. We're not even with, that situation. Everybody is in their own little corners doing their own thing. Some people has moved on and ain't even talking about it anymore. But to think when something happens that it's all of us working together, I don't need nobody helping me. What I did on my own. Brandy didn't even help me with what I did.
Hell, I'm in trouble for, she's now coming at me hardcore over the whole Colleen thing, and I had absolutely nothing to do with that.
Nope, you absolutely didn't. I could show the text messages where you weren't even on board with it. We just was going to walk away from it. I was going to walk away from it.
And that's okay. If she wants to throw me in a lawsuit on that, go for it. Please, go for it.
Oh, she can still throw me on the lawsuit. I'll meet her in court any time of any day or night. I don't care. I still stand on it's unethical for a nurse to say that a groomed, abused child, that this one medical record that I do believe she has answers all the questions. What we are seeing, this crazy behavior that we're seeing out of Gypsy now, is still after effects of her not doing trauma therapy and healing from some of the abuse that she had as a very young child. She needs that attention. She's still lying. She's still manipulating. That's all stuff she was taught from the day she was born. I'll still stand on it. So I hope she takes me to court.
I'm still here. I am trying to pull up a messenger thing. And of course my Facebook here isn't gonna do it.
She's trying to twist the Colleen thing that I'm saying that the disorder is not real, when I've said that absolutely it is real, and that it does answer a lot of questions, but it does not answer how we got there, what that kid went through until we got to where all these procedures were happening, and how they were exaggerated, and how she taught her to manipulate and lie to the doctors and participate in it. The whole mental aspect they're leaving off the table. That's unethical. Not for Fancy. That's unethical for a professional nurse. Fancy's just a yapper.
But okay. He's being snarky in the background. Rebrand, you're killing me over here.
I can't say comments.
So Rebrand says, and y'all, this is a big joke, so nobody take this serious. Dear God, you know how people are. She says, so I heard Christy is pregnant with Ryan's baby and Mia is pregnant with Ken's baby. Who'd have done it? Who'd have thunk that shit would happen? GRB is fucked.
Oh, God.
At this point, y'all, it just makes no sense.
But now Fancy's over there in Natasha's ear which thank God Natasha's smart. I mean, she knows how Fancy works.
Look, Fancy goes over there the other night. Was it last night, night before, whenever that live took place? And she literally tells her she only went into those groups. She tells her and Misty, she only went into those groups because of me. She went into the Geneva group because of me. She went into the op group because of me. She went into all these groups all because of me getting her to. Bitch, really?
Take a breath.
Her and Christina went after me for weeks to join the Burn Book. Y'all, those that were there, remember the Burn Book? We had a group called the Burn Book. There was Burn Book and Burn Book 2. I think there was a Burn Book 3 at one point, and that was just people being snarky about Natasha. Then there was when Natasha was doing the Kimberly Raymer case. There was a big fallout there. I don't remember the whole story. Those people supposedly approached Fancy to hear our side to get us to help them deal with Natasha. Next thing I know, her and Christian are going, we're in the group, you come join. I go join the group. Then there was the op group. Same thing. And every time Fancy went into the local groups, the sales groups that Natasha was in, and all these different things in her area, and would leave these huge, long diatribes about her. And it was the same repeat, like copy and paste situation every fucking time, the whole thing, calling her out and all of that. My mom Dix is laughing about Burn Book. And things that people didn't need to know, right? All the things that were going on between Fancy and Natasha and all this stuff. She wants to now try to say that I was behind every bit of the fucking drama. Every bit of it. Bitch, you are an idiot. You are fucking psycho, and you are like an obsessed lover. My God, I am sorry. I'm not into girls. Go get a fucking life. I'm done. Can y'all tell? I'm done. Can you tell? I'm gonna unmute Mama Dukes in case she has something she wants to. You could probably unmute yourself, but
I can talk now.
yeah, you can go for it. Go for it.
You can unmute yourself.
I can be unmuted. Good thing y'all.
We've
It
kept her
causes an
quiet long
echo.
enough.
So
okay.
this person who cares says this whole drama circle is out of hand. There are so many creators trying to separate from it and be done, but April, Natasha, and GRB's crew want to keep it going so they stay relevant. I have been trying to stay out of it for weeks.
Do you know? And that's the thing. I mean, I've got my life going on. We've got medical things that we're getting taken care of. We've got the farming. And when I get a chance and I'm able to just veg and chill with my peoples, I do. That's like Nina. I was talking to Nina yesterday, and she was like, can you kind of help me on the interrogation videos and stuff, and I was like, yeah, sure. I have no problem doing that. So I spent all day doing that yesterday, but as far as any of the other bullshit going on, I mean, I'm too busy.
I think Nina's got a good grasp on.
She does.
I don't agree with everything with Nina, which none of us are supposed to completely agree. I believe that she recognizes there was some abuse. She recognizes that a lot of it wasn't abuse, and that what she's doing today and not taking accountability and continuing to lie is a result of what happened to her and not doing something about it.
Exactly.
You can't continue to lie, and I think Nina's just got a good grasp. She's the closest that's got my opinion of what I think happened.
And and she stands her ground on it. She doesn't let the narrative be controlled like it was controlled for all those years. She has her own opinion. She's going to put it out there, and and she does her research. She does her homework. But and a lot of people don't like her because, well, she is gossip. Well, it states right there on her profile she's gossip. But she's also true crime. She's a beauty influencer. And it's just one of those things. But I follow this gypsy thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
I didn't follow Nina until not that long ago. I started following her. But I just think it is crazy that she's wanting to put all of us in one big pod when half of us don't even talk to each other often. I can't tell you the last time I talked to Ryan or Court. And like I said, it's nothing personal against anyone. We just all kind of went our own ways.
Pretty much.
Bree, I just don't have anything for her content. I think she's doing some stuff that I don't agree with, so I stay away from it. When there's things going on that I personally don't agree with, or the way that people are moving, and and I'm not saying she's 100% at fault, but I believe she takes a big part of the responsibility in it. And I just don't want nothing to do with it. That's why months ago I blocked her, and somebody came to me last night saying, go to Bree's live. And I'm like, I don't even follow her, and I'm not going to follow her.
Yeah. And that's the thing, it's not time for me to speak. I mean, I want to, and you girls know I want to, but it's not time for me to speak about my experience and stuff, with all of them. And, but it sure is funny. I found it funny. I even made the comment on exposing, on her little TikTok she made. I guess I live rent free in April's head. She wants to call me by my name. I'm gonna call her by her full name too. I ain't playing. Making the comment that's false. I do not speak to the Blanchards. I ain't spoke to the Blanchards since March. I don't care to speak to them ever again. Now, y'all can run with that one. Y'all, I said it right here. It came right up out of my mouth. I don't care to speak to them again. Do I wish them harm? No, I don't. I don't wish anybody harm.
Same.
I wish you peace, but just because you don't sit at my table no more doesn't mean I don't want you to eat. I don't want you to starve. I just don't want you at my table anymore. There's some things. I seen a quote the other day that said, some apologies cannot take place with the disrespect too. And
Look, I tried to have peace with her. I literally
yes.
gave her what she needed to prove that Christy and Jasmine were behind trying to set her off, and she wants to sit over there and still say her and Jasmine are talking, and she believes Jasmine, and Jasmine's a good person. Well, I'm fixing to put it all together so you can see what Jasmine thinks of you. So you, my friend, are an idiot for believing anything that woman says, because she stirred a whole shit of things up with people.
Oh, yeah, she did. She came between a 9-year friendship. I mean, that's something that I've only discussed with close friends. And she came between a 9-year friendship. There's nothing I wouldn't have done for Christy. I mean, we know when we say stuff like that, illegal, fuck you, I ain't doing nothing. If I'm going to get a felony, it's going to be on me. It's going to be because I did something stupid, but you just go above and beyond for your friends. And
what made me so mad about this unaliving thing is, before I even knew that there was a Rumble last night and that Fancy was on it, this morning when I seen that everybody was coming at me about the unaliving and wanting to know what did I know and was I going to talk on it, one person said this was finally going to take her down.
But my thing is, Kendall, I'm sorry, my thing is it true?
Well, I don't know if it's true, but even if it is true, let's say it is true. I personally don't think it is. I believe it's just somebody starting to start crap again. But when they were coming to me, I just quit answering and made a video that you can't put that on Fancy and Sarah, even as bad as I can't stand Fancy, that you can't put that on their shoulders without showing 100% truth. And that if it did happen, it was because of the words they said. That is a lot of responsibility to put on anyone's shoulders to carry. The truth is bad enough with Fancy. Nobody needs to make up something like that.
Right.
And if it is true, then the family needs to address it publicly. And if they choose to do it publicly, evidently they're wanting to do it publicly if it's true. But they need time to heal. And then they need to gather their own thoughts and they'll address it the way they want to address it, not me.
Exactly.
I don't agree with it being thrown out there like that on Fancy.
Right. And then you have different people going into different chats blaming them. And I don't think that's okay. We should not do that ever. But for whatever reason, April can't keep my name out of her fucking mouth, and I'm done.
Yeah.
I have tried to ignore her. I gave her that information and was just calling it done. We had a 30-minute phone call conversation where we both said we're tired of it. Let's just walk away. You do yours, I'll do mine. All I said to her about Natasha was I was shocked she went on her panel after screaming for years that Natasha was her stalker. That shocked me.
We all were shocked.
I think we all were on that. I thought hell froze over on that one.
Natasha's not stupid. She knows what Fancy's doing. She
I have
knows
not
exactly
given her
what Fancy's
hell.
doing.
She keeps wanting to say I gave her hell for being friends with going on a talk. I did not give a fuck what you do. But leave my name out of your mouth. Quit accusing me of the shit I didn't do.
No, actually, you and I had a conversation about it afterwards, and we were laughing because you could tell in Natasha's face what she was saying without saying a word. And it was like, it was more pro Natasha for putting up with it and staying professional than it was the clown that Fancy made out of herself.
Yeah.
Nothing was said bad about Natasha at all. Not when me and Brandy talked privately. I never seen Natasha or Brandy say anything bad.
Everybody knows Natasha and I aren't friends. We don't like each other. It's what it is. And that's its own other thing. And that's the only one of the reasons why April is over there kissing her ass so that she can hate bond with her over me because he has to bring me up every time she's there. And I'm not a part of the situation.
Exactly. It's like she's got to, I don't know. It's kind of like Fancy's stuck in that one little position, you know, that, and she's stuck in the past, you know, and I can sit here and prove, you know, that life goes on.
Yeah, you're a good example of life goes on.
Exactly. I'm one of your perfect examples of that. I mean, you know, I had my heart surgery. We all know that, you know, died for literally 12 minutes. You know, so they could fix my heart. And then, you know, I got a second chance with my high school sweetheart. We've got a little mini farm. You know, my life goes on besides my Gypsy because I've decided not to make my life centered around it. I decided, you know, true crime. I did so much in true crime for so many years. And, you know, that part when I got with Big Daddy, you know, I mean that right there, it all kind of ceased because I wanted that second chance at life. I wanted to make something, you know, and here I am, you know, I'll be 51 next month, and at 48 I face death. You know, and I survived a surgery that many don't survive. I mean, there's a lot of survivors, but you know, there's you know, there's those ones that just don't come back. But my life ain't perfect. You know, we have to rob Peter to pay Paul. And I think everybody's at that time right now. You know, we're not wealthy, but we're happy. And that's what I want everybody. That is just Daddy. We had to cut Big Daddy's big old goatee that he had, and we had to shave his head, of course, you know, when he got out of the hospital. I was fine with that. His hair was as long as mine, but curly. And then we shaved his beard. And so my Catahoula Aussie thinks that ain't his daddy. He barks at him every time. So, but you know, I mean, I am that prime example. I don't sit and dwell on stuff like that, you know, and there is times that I'm not even on the internet. I can go 2-3 days and not be on the internet, but I do have people that text me or message me and say, "Hey, did you see this? You know, did you see what happened?" And I was like, "What?" You know, I think you texted me the other night and was telling me about it was either Gypsy and Fancy's live. Why did you get them started? Oh, that's my two pups. The little one's correcting the big one.
Yeah, that's another thing that Fancy twisted and gave me a shout out video about, because I said that it's amazing to me that Fancy can sit on her YouTube channel and Facebook Live and TikTok, and she can drag this girl for months, actually years, but really months.
The past 7 months,
Gypsy comes on, says 3 little words, and let me say, she was invited by Sarah, or Sarah gives the impression that she might have or might not have invited her.
Hang on. I'm going to mute myself.
Okay.
She jumps on, says 3 words. You are obsessed, and Fancy's mask falls off, and she goes absolutely apeshit and goes to body shaming and all of that. And poor Sarah sitting over there. I don't have a hate for Sarah like a lot of people do. I don't approve of a lot of things she does, but I don't hate her like a lot of people do. But Sarah's sitting over there trying her best to rake Fancy back in, and and you can just see that Sarah's kind of stumbling over her words, trying to calm Fancy down and put that mask back on real quick. But then Fancy says that I said that Gypsy told her off. I never said that. Gypsy said 3 words and left. Gypsy did exactly what she meant to do.
She did. She knew exactly what she was doing going in there. Which, the one thing that we have laughed about, Mama Dukes and I have said, and Kendall has agreed, that we could all jump in that live and do the same thing. If we did at the same time Gypsy did, Fancy would lose her shit uncontrollably.
She'd have had a stroke.
I'd have to do a fake account because she has me blocked.
She has me blocked too. She makes comments on my post, but has me blocked so nobody can see mine.
Yeah.
I don't block people. But that's what I said was, just how can you say that's harassment when she said 3 words compared to your
it's not
months and months and months of
it's not harassment when you do literally nearly every live about her. That's not harassment. She's actually coming in and defended herself. Yeah. So take a seat.
And I don't agree with the crap that Gypsy's out here doing.
Me?
Just because I support Gypsy in that comment she made then left, don't mean I support what Gypsy's actions today. I just think that it's crazy that she even went as far as she's going to call the parole officer and tell him what? The girl said 3 words to you.
I agree.
Oh, wow.
Kentucky Chick says what Ifan said was just mean, no matter what people feel about GR. Yes, absolutely. But she's been doing that. Everything she does becomes mean and vile. She's done it with me. She does it with all
that is Dad. Stop.
Well, all she knows to do is be vile and hateful.
If Fancy could keep it to professional, talk about what she believes that answers everything, and talk about the case itself, and stay with the facts without twisting the facts, she wouldn't hear from me at all. But that's not what she does. She has to get mean, and she's got to get ugly, and she's got to blame it on stuff that happened years ago and months ago, and Fancy just wants to twist everything because she's got to be the victim. But I will say, in this situation, I do believe that she is the victim in this unaliving thing.
Yeah, I was like, really? Now I have to come out and speak up and defend that situation because I don't want to defend her on anything.
No, I don't either. I absolutely don't. But you're not gonna lock me in with Bree. You're absolutely not gonna lock me into that one.
Well, and that's the thing is, a lot of people, I've noticed for a lot of people too, like where I have spoken and said stuff, that was facts or something like that, not just the personal that I know, but just on the case, I have seen people, not realize I've been here from day one when this girl went missing. So I've seen a lot of stuff. I have seen Fancy go at that girl hard. We all have. But I also seen when Fancy was promoting and everything, and Brandy, you were there. You seen a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
And just attack and just stay attacking on different things.
I believe that she's now I'm the newbie coming in, but what I've seen, what I've researched, what I've looked back and watched, and what I've heard from my credible little circle, and y'all know who my little circle is, mostly
Yeah.
you two, is it went both ways.
It did.
She's definitely attacked and dragged that girl, and I think that there's been things behind the scenes that was directed at Fancy. I'm not saying Fancy doesn't have a reason to be mad or aggravated, but the level of vengeance and retaliation that she's got when life's just going on and everybody else is kind of moving in their own direction is obsessive.
Yeah,
just told her the truth.
Exactly. And and it is an obsession. And and that we've all seen it happen. I mean, if you can let somebody live rent free in your head for 7 years and have so much hate, for the past 5, and it's just built over these years, and I'm sure her husband, I'm sure her family's tired of hearing about it, but I have to agree with you, we need to find out if it's actually true, that if it was because of them. We also know how the internet works. We've been around long enough to see rumors get started. People stirring
well, for
things.
one, if you're somebody's brother that just unalived themselves, why would you be texting anybody and say, do you want some ammunition against Fancy?
Right.
That just screams red flag to me.
I don't think any of it's true. I don't think this person has taken her life. I don't think I think it's all BS.
I do too, and that's just awful to lay that on anyone. I mean, just pull a lie like that, something with somebody's life.
Exactly.
I've heard Fancy say things and push people to the point that if they didn't have thicker skin, they might would have done something. I've seen some nasty things come out of her mouth. But I mean, most people can just consider the source and move on, but some people might not be able to. But to say it happened and to put that on her shoulders is it's just wrong. And I don't stand with it or anyone that believes it.
I mean, and that's the thing. This is the first I'm hearing about it, so I might get a little wonky, guys. We're headed into town, so I got one spot that might make me black out here.
Kentucky chick, you're fine. I'm used to your nudges. You're good.
But
I wish TikTok would take nudges off of there.
I don't even know how that stuff works. TikTok's all new. And I'm relearning
I have
YouTube.
no idea if she's making any money. I don't know that I even care. That's one thing that happens on YouTube a lot. I was just defending another friend of mine because she's got a hate train coming at her because she covers true crime differently than I would. She does a lot of the new current cases that are happening, and I don't like to do them because of the speculation and the rumor mill, and they're not solved cases. They make me uncomfortable. So I don't tend to be in a lot of her stuff, and she's getting a ton of hate, and people want to go on about the money and people grifting and people earning money on this stuff. Look, if you're a monetized channel, then you're here to make money, period. So I don't care. You know what I mean? Fancy's channel is
exactly.
Her channel's not monetized. Could be, but it's not. I mean, maybe her and Christina should have fixed the AdSense a couple years back, but I digress. Sorry. Oh, but let me mention this one. These groups that she's accusing me of pushing her to go into after Natasha, that don't happen when her and I were no longer friends. We ended our friendship in November of 2019. We didn't begin talking again until like June of 2020. And like even further on into late 2020. All of that happened in that time. So then again, tell me how it was me that pushed you to go into those groups, you stupid, crazy bitch.
Fancy has a mind of her own. Nobody can control Fancy's mind. Nobody's going to make her do anything she don't want to do.
Here you go, Kentucky chick.
Exactly.
She says, I'm going to say why I am really upset with FM. My daughter did unalive herself, and this lady is trying to get attention. Possibly not cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Kentucky chick's story, and her and I've talked a lot. And she's been there's been days that she's carried a lot of hurt because of what she's seen Fancy do, not personally directed at her,
but at other people. Yeah.
But it words, like I tried to tell PCAT, your words have power, and you can't say some of the things that you're saying and there not be accountability for it. And just saying I'm sorry sometimes just isn't enough. You've done said it. You've done let the milk out of the jug. You can't put it back.
Exactly. And that's like I feel, and you girls know. I mean, I've discussed with y'all and Pitt. I mean, we know who our circle is and who we can trust. And there's one other that, she's going through things right now, and she knows. But if I would have spoke immediately after, we all know I would have got attacked and told I was making things up and I was this big huge liar and stuff like that, which I probably still will. I know that'll be there, but how can you lie for 9 years?
Right.
That's the thing. And
I think the part that's really sad with you is, besides the whole media and the PR and all the people coming into Christy's life and then you get pushed out, is that you and Christy were real friends.
Yes.
Real friends. Y'all were real life friends. And that's sad over this shit.
We may have met over the internet. Have I met her in real life? No, we never have. We've had video chats. We've talked. I've watched her children grow. I was there when there wasn't nobody there.
Right.
And, that part right there is the hard part. But there's other things there too. Brandy knows a lot, a little bit more, because Brandy's seen it. A few other people have seen it. And the amount of support that I got has been at times it's been overwhelming. Just people telling me, I'm so sorry over what happened, and I can't believe that. And you don't have to speak, Mama Dukes. You don't have to talk. You can just let it be. And one of the things was I had somebody ask me. We were in casual conversation. They were showing support, for me and stuff like that. And they asked me, "How did you come up with the name of Mama Dukes?" And I said, "Have you ever looked up the meaning for it?" And she says, "No, I didn't. I just thought maybe it was a nickname or something. That's what I hear, some people say." And I said, "Mama Dukes is the mama that takes care of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Mama Dukes is that one that's in that neighborhood that all them kids come to. You call Mama Dukes, Mama Dukes gets it done, one way or another." And all of the little neighborhood kids, when my kids were growing up, called me Mama. And I've always kind of taken that persona, and not just with kids. I mean, I even have grown ass people call me Mama, only because I have that.
My kids' friends to this day call me Mom.
Same. Mine do too.
Yeah.
My house was always the house that all the kids gathered.
Yeah. It was that one safe house, so even y'all are Mama Dukes, and that's something that you got to take, that was just a name that was given to me.
Mm-hmm.
And, like the car scene night, let's talk about that one. The car scene night where she was, I hate to say it, she really was unhinged. I talked to her calmly. I didn't yell at her. I talked to her calmly. And trust me, there is a lot of issues there. Fancy's always wanted to be on her side, especially when, she would sit there and badmouth Christy, and I'd be like, what, that's your feelings about her, but I don't want to hear it. And we would talk. I would try to get her on other subjects of talking about her life, what's going on in your life. I don't want to just, I don't just hand my number out just to anybody. If you want to build a relationship and a rapport with me, let's talk about your life, not just about this case. Let's talk about your life, and that's always been my issue, my thing. And I think that's why I'm drawn to Nina so much, is because she actually does discuss the case. I mean, she's got the gossip, tune that out. You know, that's the way I look at it. But she does have some pretty good comebacks. I mean, I can't help but kind of chuckle on some stuff. I shouldn't, you know, but that's the human in me. I think that's the human in all of us. But if you put the gossip aside, and
it becomes funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We get to a point to where we laugh at these people because of how much they've hurt us.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, you know, and that's like Fancy now. I just laugh at her. You know, that's all I can do. Is just laugh
too.
at her.
I just continue to call out the lies.
I have been until I watched Natasha's live, and then now I'm pissed because
she's trying to cause trouble between Natasha and Brandy again when they both went their own ways and don't speak on each other. And
I've told several people, do I find some things funny? Yeah, and I kind of giggle about it. I don't comment on it. I don't share about it. When Ryan and Courtney started their fight with Natasha back, I told them both, don't go there.
Yeah, don't go there.
Don't go there with her because she will wipe the floor with you. Don't.
Yep.
You know, and I wasn't getting in the middle of that because I've been there with Natasha. And when I made amends with Natasha 4 years ago, that was it. The only other thing I did was I went on people's panels because they would be telling what all happened between all of us, and they would have the story wrong. And I would go on those panels and I would correct it. And that upset Natasha. I can understand that because if we made amends to her, I should never been talking about it again. I can understand that. I do. But I'm not going to let people tell the wrong story. Just like Fancy's over there freaking telling people I was the one pushing all the drama. Bullshit, bitch. Bullshit.
No, and that's like you and I are the ones that were behind the lawsuit. That what?
Right? Now I encouraged it. I'll tell y'all. Want to know who told me? Y'all want to know who told me that Christy was filing a lawsuit? Tori.
Jasmine?
Tori.
Who?
Tori.
Oh, okay.
Tori told me way before Christy said anything to me about it. And then I said, absolutely, I think you should. Have you seen this? Have you seen this? Do you have this one? I would let her know what was being said because it was defamation when she's being accused of being involved in the murder. It's bad karma. Don't do it.
Exactly.
There were things being said that weren't true, that was defamation and needed to stop. Hey, Ty. But who cares says, as sickening as it is for someone to lie about it, I hope this person is alive and well. I also hope that April and Sarah use it as a precautionary tale to take the things they say more seriously. I understand what you're saying. Highly doubt that it will ever happen.
I was told by someone that I've never caught telling me anything that I didn't eventually verify myself, to now at the point that when she does tell me something, I pretty much know she can back everything up. I was told that when Pink Cat did that rant, that transphobic rant on Bree, that this is where the Sarah Anderson's name first popped up. Now, this is what I was told by somebody credible, and that she first tried to deny that it was her, and she was trying to say it's another Sarah Anderson, and that Sarah Anderson was attacked for it, badly attacked for it. Then Sarah ended up apologizing for it.
Yes.
That's how there supposedly is another Sarah's name being popped up from months ago. And
I want to say that was on Ryan's live.
See, I'm not even sure whose live it was.
But I heard it happened on Ryan's.
Okay.
I want to say that happened on Ryan's live because I was on that live that night.
Okay. So, and then I was told that I seen this part that I thought Fancy and them was going to the Derby. I was excited to see the Derby and see that them actually going on location and doing something. I didn't know she's going to put an Easter hat on and sit in her living room and do the Derby. But in that live, they were going on about their whatever it was. And somebody popped up and said, did you see that this person took her life? And Sarah says, what? And Fancy tries to stop her from talking, as Fancy always tries to stop. So Sarah's going to get tired of it eventually. But Fancy's like, no, don't address it. Don't address it. And then she told one of her mods, which she looked into that to see if it was true. and nobody could find anything. And Fancy just said, we're not speaking on that. We're not speaking on that. And then the chat was saying stuff about that's the person that, that they've had trouble with or they've had problems with. That was the first I'd heard of it, period, at all. Never before even heard the name. I didn't even know at that time that Pink Hat tried to blame another person with the same name. I didn't know that had happened. I always thought she put it up, quickly regretted it, brought it down, and tried to apologize, and apology wasn't accepted. And then I get the messages last night that somebody's in Bree's live saying that it's their sister by the same name. So I don't know where it connects, but I still believe it. I'm not saying that I don't believe that the Sarah Anderson had problems with Sarah and Fancy. I believe that part is true. I would be mad if somebody tried to blame me for saying those nasty words. But I'm not saying that part's not true. I believe that this whole story of somebody taking their life is untrue, and they're just using it as a means to cause drama and to set on someone's shoulders. And that's the part I don't agree
Evidently,
with.
the supposed brother's TikTok channel, all of his followers are nothing but Bree followers, according to Natasha. So that is the other thing that makes me wonder, because I think she said he had like 17 TikTok followers. So it kind of,
and that's where he went with it.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So that,
again, we don't associate with her,
right,
at all.
None of us do.
I mean, I might pop into Ryan's every now and then and say 2 words, and then I'm usually gone. For one thing, I'm too fucking busy. But I also just don't want to get into everybody's bullshit. I'm staying in my lane, doing my thing, and my name keeps getting put out there. Yes, Ty Bree.
Yeah, I don't have anything against anyone that was in, that group in the past. We all kind of were not grouped together because we all did our own things, but there was kind of a group of us, and we've all, as far as I know, we've all went our own ways and got our, I don't know. I just feel like we had all went our own ways.
Exactly. Hang on, Big Daddy just said something. What'd you say? Say it again.
Said your name gets thrown out all the time too.
Yes. Dawn's is usually mentioned right there with mine. I'm surprised it wasn't mentioned in Natasha's live. I was kind of shocked. I was waiting.
Because Natasha don't speak on my name.
Well, and Natasha wasn't even mentioning my name. She was trying to shut Fancy up at one point.
Yeah.
Fancy was calling Fancy out, and Fancy kept talking over her, and so she finally got her piece said. Because there's a lot of that went on that people don't understand. When people were trying to get Natasha shut down, but they kept calling CPS, and Natasha was trying to adopt her niece that was in a very horrible situation.
Horrible situation.
In foster care, where her little brother died in their care. And I'm not going into those
Not
details.
Not Natasha's care.
No,
Let's
not
make that very clear. It wasn't in Natasha's care.
See, I don't even know nothing about that.
And but Natasha was trying to get custody of her niece, and people kept calling CPS on her. And
Wow.
and it held on. It caused them to wait years to even finish that adoption. And I told people several times, look, that child, and that's a beautiful girl. She had a very hard life. She doesn't need any more crap. Leave her alone. We may not like Natasha, but enough is enough.
Leave the kids alone. That's the biggest thing.
Go at Natasha's channel, go with the money grabs, go at all of that, but leave the child alone. Ron says another reason it looks like a setup is because of Natasha getting Fancy in her live on Rumble last night, teaming up with her. I don't know if they're teaming up.
I don't think Natasha's teaming
they
up.
Ain't
With
teaming
her.
up.
I think she really wanted her to know because those allegations are extremely serious.
Yeah, I don't believe
look,
it's
let me tell
anything
you
about
what,
teaming up.
If there was weight to those allegations, I would be up here right now talking about that and calling her ass out.
Absolutely.
But there's not any weight to those allegations.
I think Natasha did the right thing to let Fancy speak on that part of it that she thinks it wasn't true, not to start pointing fingers at who she thinks started it.
That river's up. Sorry,
Because if I find out who starts it, don't think I won't blast them. If I find out where it came from and that it ends up being a lie,
oh, absolutely,
they'll be a number one
I'm not
target.
blasting your ass, because here's the thing: there are people that take their lives every day from bullying, online bullying.
You
It's
know,
not
and that's
something we need to make light of and false accusations with.
You know, even being in the small town that we live in, you know, we have children, and you know, Big Daddy being first responder, he's been called way too many times to go on those calls. And that, let me tell you, that is what, not only is it hard for the parents, but it's hard on these guys, because I'm going to start crying, you know, because it is emotional. It is tough. It is hard. And to have an 11-year-old child kill themselves because they're being bullied, and you have to be the one that goes and either checks their pulse, you know, just checking their pulse, you know, it is one of the hardest things whenever it comes to a child. So, you know, and I can just imagine being an adult and being sensitive and come across something like that, and then getting the hateful, evil messages, you know. And I've seen back when, you know, when Gypsy first got out, and I was still, Christy and I were still on speaking terms, you know, I seen some of the messages that were getting sent to Gypsy, and some of those were just downright disgusting. It does
she's
not
got to have
matter.
a thick skin. She's got to have a thick skin.
Exactly. And some of those messages were just horrible. Had somebody said that to me, you know, I mean, I can ignore it, you know, and just let it go, but it was to the point that it was actually starting to affect her, you know, and it will after time, you know, you just get it tremendously, you know, you just get it every day. And, you know, sometimes it's just, you get it more than every day, you know, if you get just one message a day of that, you know, it does affect you. But she was getting just tons of them, you know. It wasn't just one a day. She was getting several, you know, and it did start affecting her. You know, do I agree with how she's acting now? No, I think she's acting like an entitled brat. You know, that's
I
my
think
opinion.
she's acting like someone that's glorifying attention, because that's all she knew as a kid. And until she does the work and realize she's got to become who she's supposed to be without the damage of the drama that was, or the trauma that was done. And probably in her mind, she probably thinks she is out here living her best life. And I seen something the other day where she was saying, this is for my fans. Your fans? You are a murderer. You should not be using your name in the same sentence with the word fans. You should be correcting your behavior and leading these young children that are looking up to you in a different way, not showing them, oh, this is where this is going to get you. You know, it's like, but I will still believe that it's from the whole life of the attention and the grooming, and she's not done the work. I don't even think she's acknowledging that she has a problem with lying and exaggerating and manipulation. And until she accepts she's got a problem with it and fixes it, we're going to continue to see more, and it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Exactly. You know, and I said something yesterday, you know, and she needs PR. She needs professional PR, not some made up PR or some fake PR. She actually does seriously need PR.
Well, somebody told me she had a PR from Lifetime, and I told that person, like, Lifetime is not got her best interest at heart. They just want to sell a show.
Here's the thing: that PR is all about building that show because the views bring the money. That's
right. Good or bad,
or go crazy.
Good or bad,
right?
They want to make her. If she's doing something good, no one's going to care. If she's out here doing what she's doing and just acting the way she's acting, that brings negative attention, and negative attention is going to bring views. And it's going to make creators make videos, and that brings more views and more traffic, and they don't have her best interest at heart.
No. And, you know, and a lot of them, I've heard a lot of them say, well, you know, if she would take accountability, that's where a lot of it is. And I think that's where a lot of people would criticize him so much. If she would just take accountability, all you got to do, take accountability.
I don't think she can. I think
I do not believe that she knows how to take accountability.
Well, I think it's everybody. I don't think nothing Gypsy's going to do in the eyes of the public is going to be right. I think if she did take accountability, there's going to be people that's like, too little, too late, or they're going to say, oh, that wasn't sincere, or that she's got to show accountability.
Exactly.
Which is a difference than saying, I'm going to take account. She's got to show accountability.
I think in the beginning she was trying, and then people were slamming her for how she would say it, so she just gave up. And fuck, why should I take any kind of accountability? Because no matter how I say it, it's wrong.
Mm-hmm. And the one thing that I do agree with Bree, which is when I first seen Bree did a very good breakdown that I 100% believe, that I agreed with, and that is that the media made her believe that she's something she's not, and then she gets out of prison thinking that the world is going to have their open arms and embrace her, and she got a rude awakening of the reality. But the media made her believe that, and she probably sat there for years, couldn't wait to get out and to do this and do that because she thought the world was going to love her.
I can see that part, you know, and this was a conversation that I had with Christy back in January when everything kind of calmed down for just a little bit, and we were able to really just sit down and chit chat with everything going on. And it was one of those heart to heart conversations that we had, you know, and Big Daddy heard it, so he can verify what I say. You know, but the one question I asked Christy, and this still bothers me, is did we protect Gypsy too much? Because we never shared the bad stuff with Gypsy. What we were doing out here on the internet, promoting and trying to get, you know, awareness brought to Munchausen by proxy at the time. Mm-hmm. Not so much the drama. We were trying to push it to get Munchausen by proxy, to get it studied more, because it was never, that was something that you rarely heard about. Something that we never really got to dive into and get a taste and fully understand it. You know, and a lot of true crimers get into it. You know, as old schools, we want to know the hows. We know the how, we know the when. We just don't know the why. Mm-hmm. Why do you think that way? What causes that? You know, mm-hmm. It's the why and the what a lot of times. And I know that was for me, and I know it's for quite a few people. And that's the thing, is we want to know, how does Munchausen by proxy, you know, how does that come about? What is it? You know, what causes this disease? You know, and now they've called it something else. They've changed the terms on it.
It's just disorder opposed upon another.
Yeah, you know, and that's the thing. We know what a hypochondriac is, you know, and does that fall into the same category? You know, and that was the thing, and that's what I told Christy. Did we protect her too much? You know, and that was a question that I asked, and Christy, and you could feel it. You could actually feel it. And Christy goes, I don't know, Dawn. Maybe we did. You know,
I don't even believe that that's what it was. I believe it was more just grooming. And
Rebrand says y'all handed her an alibi for a crime she actively participated in.
I agree with that.
Did y'all, or did Stanfield? That's the thing.
You know,
because he's talking about it in the documentaries way back.
Yeah.
Well, I believe it might have started with him, but then so much of the media just ran with it, not even really realizing that that's probably not even what it was.
Exactly. You know, and there was so much going on back then, you know, and then the fighting and the bickering started between the creators, you know, and that's the thing. My whole part in it was to get Fancy discussing the medical and Natasha discussing the criminal, because Natasha's got that spot. She's got that spunk. Fancy, you know, Fancy had that personality when she first came onto the scene. She did have that personality to discuss the media. You know, whether you make money off this case or whatever, I'm not a part of that.
Yeah.
Let's get this case discussed. Let's have two separate things discussed. Let's have the medical. Let's have the media. Y'all come together in the middle. If they could have teamed up, they would have been a hell of a team discussing this case. But it didn't work out that way.
Well,
You
even
know,
Natasha will say that there was abuse. Fancy just won't even admit there was any abuse, and I don't see how you can accuse a 3, 4, and 5, 6-year-old of doing the things that was done to her.
Exactly, and that's all part of the grooming. That was the grooming process, you know, and
that's the only part that I want them to acknowledge, and that what that year's played on the other years. I'm not saying she didn't have a mind of her own or that she's not responsible for what she did. She's absolutely responsible for what she did. But it all is a big puzzle that had to all come together. And I've said this before on the live, that I remember hearing Fancy say this one time in a video she did years ago, and I still think it's one of those smartest things that I've ever heard Fancy say, is that she created her own, that Dee Dee created her own murderer.
Yep.
Yes.
And I think that describes it. Does not take any of the responsibility off of Gypsy, because of that age.
No.
You've got some free will. If you're free enough to do some of the things you were doing, then you were free. And looking up some of the things that you did before you did the crime, then you were smart enough to look up some other things and go a different way.
Right there.
But I just have a problem that they just want to say no abuse. No, there absolutely was abuse. And you know, Colleen's smart. She knows that.
Abuse has to be physical. It's not all physical. Emotional and mental abuse is just as damaging, if not worse.
Exactly.
And I tried to give it to them that, you know, that the chromosome disorder probably does explain a lot of the medical procedures, if not all of them. That still don't change what happened.
Okay, everybody gets to go into one of my favorite stores. I'm at Atwood's, which is like a Tractor Supply. So y'all get to go in and hear this part. So we'll try to be quiet. No, I can't. Their chickens are expensive.
Are they?
They're they're guineas. They want like $11 for a.
You can't buy from Tractor Supply. They mistreat their chickens.
I'll get them when they first get them in.
They're so cool to their wildlife. I got a
friend
that worked there, and they would just throw the ones that were dying in the corner and pick them up in the evenings. It was cruel what they just lay there and let them.
No.
See, ours aren't like that. Ours are mine's pretty good about getting them out and getting them.
Yeah, Atwood's is pretty good. I just don't want to spend that much when I know that I got other homesteaders that I can get my babies from for like $2 or $3, or they'll even hatch the eggs out for me and not even think about it. You know, so that's kind of the good thing about doing what we do.
Ron, I don't know. Brandy and Mama can tell you more about their opinion on that situation. I wasn't around when all that happened.
So Ron says, do you think Christy regrets that now, realizing who Gypsy really is and has become? No, I don't. I think she likes the money and attention.
She's looking a little and I don't want to degrade another woman because I so stand against that. She's looking tired.
These are the red darts. We need to check these.
Yeah, she's looking tired.
She's looking rough.
She's looking tired, just worn out, and I don't know. And you know, just everything catching up with her, or stress, or age, or what it is. But she's just looking.
She turned her back on the people that were her friends.
Yeah, her real friends.
Yeah, here's some over here, Big Daddy.
Yes, Ron, we were starting to talk about real chickens because we're farm girls, and
we love our babies, our critters.
This is what makes us laugh when they say we're all about the drama, because this is mine and Dawn's conversations every day.
Mine and Kendall's too.
Did y'all see some Serrano eggs?
Oh, will you? Okay.
Yeah, I bought 2 years ago. I bought 13 eggs. I bought 12, but they sent an extra one. 13 eggs for $100, and for Saramas, and they're good bloodlines and all that. And I only had 4 of them hatch. 3 roosters, of course, and 1 hen. And I have the cutest little rooster and the cutest little hen. I got rid of the other 2 roosters because they're roosters. But they're about the size of a Coke can. A little bit. The body's about the size of a Coke can. A lot smaller than a guinea. They got big attitudes though.
Oh yeah.
Hey, I like them big attitudes, let me tell you, because they got to have an attitude to be up there. But my cousin, I have to tell y'all this story. My cousin called me the other day because she had a bunch of pig feed to give us, and stuff. Well, it's not actually pig food; it's just like
Scraps.
stale bread and chips and just all kinds of different stuff. And she works at one of the places that helps the food banks out here, but it was all like way outdated, so they couldn't, give it out. And so she called me, and we went over and got it. And she says, "Oh, by the way," she says, "I have a special rooster to give you." Now, I don't know if he's special as in special needs, or if he's just a different type. I don't know. I haven't got him yet, so we're
I've
kind of
got
anxious
one that's
on
fixing
that
to
one.
be real special in the crock pot if he keeps attacking me, and he's the smallest one. He's my little bitty
But,
dandy guy that should have
yep.
been the same for everybody else, but he ended up being little bitty.
The little one's got big attitudes.
Oh,
His
yeah.
huge.
We don't want no Bantams up there. We've already talked about that one.
He came at me yesterday. I chased him all around the pen, chunking things at him. I'm like, you're fixing to go in the damn crock pot.
I have
Right,
a huge
right.
egger that lays all of the eggs.
Yeah, they don't have them. So we are looking for this one tomato. You guys, if you ever come across it, you get your tomato plants, you gardeners and stuff. It is called a watermelon cherry tomato. And it is one of the best tomatoes. It's sweet, it's not acidic. And we found it last year, and we are on the hunt for one this year.
Have you seen the purple tomatoes? They're real good.
Yes, those are really good. But this was a new breed that we had tried because I make my salsa and my homemade sauce every year. And so we tried this one. It was different. We thought, well, if we like it, we like it. I gave it out, and everybody that I gave those tomatoes out are asking if I'm growing it again this year. I should have saved some of my tomatoes because I thought, well, we can find it again next year. Not a problem. We have hunted for the last month, actually 2 months now. And we have drove
I don't
hundreds
know if
of miles.
I don't know if she's afraid of Gypsy. I think she's trying to benefit off of Gypsy. I don't think she's maybe afraid as in don't want to ruffle feathers. I don't know.
Now I'm going to be looking for watermelon tomatoes because Rebrand
Yes.
says watermelon beef steaks too. So I'm going to see if I can find and purple
Oh,
tomatoes.
really?
I didn't know there was such thing as purple tomatoes.
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
there
they're
is
huge.
purple tomatoes. So, and we got a chocolate speckled tomato this year, so we're going to test that out and see. But guys, if y'all can, I'm telling you, that watermelon cherry that's it.
The purple tomato, one slice will cover a whole piece of bread.
Wow.
Okay,
They're
so now I'm going
huge.
to have to get purple. I'm going to be on the hunt for those too.
Well, I get to plant plants and stuff like little gardens or whatever I want at the new Ren Fair site. So now I'm going to go get me some tomato plants, I think, and see if I can find these purple ones and these watermelon ones.
Yes, if you can find them, and it's Chef Jeff's is the brand. I may just have to go online and order some.
We get our plants from the flea market. Our farmers market.
We usually get our tomatoes, like we'll get our tomatoes either at Tractor Supply or at Atwood's. I mean, it's just a different one. So, because we're kind of or Sutherland's. I'm probably naming spots people don't know about. But any farm supply. Like now we're coming in and getting the goat her special feed that she has to have. But
Y'all hear my dogs howling?
I do. Yes,
I
she couldn't
hear.
even kennel while she was doing this, and he is dying. Granted, the kennel's like 10 times bigger than him, but
Yeah, he's in like a kennel for probably the size of a Doberman or Saint Bernard, the biggest you can get, the extra large. He's a 4-pound poodle. The other one's about a 5-pound poodle, and he's got his own crate. And they're mad because I put them in there before I went live, so they wouldn't be jumping up in my lap and making noise. And this is them howling in the other room.
Okay, so I'm going to give y'all the prices on these chickens. To me, this is a little high only because we get them. So their pullets, just the assorted ones are $4.69. That's a little too high for me.
that's what they run at Tractor Supply.
That okay, and then they have the heavies, which I love the heavies. They're so cute. And they lay them good brown eggs. They're $3.49, which I would pay that. But their guineas are $7.99, guys.
I don't think we even get guineas here at the Tractor Supply.
We keep guineas around for the ticks.
I said
Yes.
I'm going to get some guineas and put out because they help with the fleas and the
Yeah.
ticks.
I mean, we have problems with bears. So having bears, you're going to have ticks. Believe it or not, it seems to go hand in hand. And we have guineas that help handle the ticks from the bears.
Yes. Well, we have bobcats, and we have just bears, and just where we live at. But the ticks are horrible. And the snakes. We've already killed. Big Daddy killed one in the kitchen, and we found our first copperhead the other day when we were out back.
Uh-oh. We've had quite a few king snakes hanging around, and we leave them alone because they run off the bad snakes.
Yeah.
I love my snakes. I don't mess with my snakes and spiders. I just try to chase the damn bears off.
Well, if it's poisonous, it's dead on our hill. We don't want it up there because we're outside so much. That's the thing. We don't.
We have some big water snakes. In the backyard, we have a long.
Hey, Crystal.
Like a long little deck, and under it is a really nice flowing little stream. And when it's sunny outside, the water snakes will come up on the rocks and just sun. Huge snakes, but they don't bother nobody. They're not water moccasins. They're just water snakes.
Last year we were down at one of the ponds, the big pond, and I seen the biggest water moccasin I have seen in years. Of course, granted, I've been out west for a little bit, but even as a child, I remember them being this big. And that's when Big Daddy told me, he was like, "Yep, okay, so that's the biggest I've seen in a few years." So he has been a good boy. Okay.
Well, I think we covered what we needed to.
For the moment.
Is there any questions that anybody asked that they want answered that I wasn't able to see?
Haven't seen any yet. We've been kind of answering them.
Okay.
In the end, guys, we keep getting thrown in this and being told we're in the drama. We're not in it. We're trying to stay out of the drama. Quit using our names.
Yeah. And as you can see, this is our conversation. What you just heard me discussing chickens, feed.
This is our conversations 90% of the time.
Our conversation. Our life does not revolve around this, and doesn't revolve around.
You're breaking out real bad, Mama.
Yeah, you're breaking up.
Am I?
You're roboting.
Anyway, guys, I appreciate you listening. I'm sure we'll eventually have to do it again. But
okay, how's now? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
I'm sure this isn't the last time we have to address this because she won't stop. Even though I have said time and time again, quit accusing me of shit and I'll quit talking about you.
Well, I already got a message while we're live that she's over on Starlight talking about it now. So,
well, I hope that you guys can, at least some of you guys understand that this is what our life consists of now and has consisted of. You might see me here, there, wherever, but I don't talk about people because I don't have to talk about people. People don't live rent free in my head. I got bigger things going on.
Me and Brandy's got so many projects in the works.
And y'all got projects, and I am so proud of you girls doing what y'all are doing. You know, you're making a difference.
As a matter of fact, Thursday, guys, at 8 o'clock Central, Silas will be coming on live to tell his story of his time at the Family Foundation School. He is super excited. He said, "Can I name drop?" And I said, "I give zero."
Absolutely.
I asked that if it's a student, we use first names only. Teachers, you can use all of it. I don't care.
Right.
You know,
I
think that is amazing what you guys are doing.
Thank you. Yeah, this really did matter to me. I'm so sick of Gypsy's story. One of my other friends she has like a 15,000 sub channel, and she was like, "Now I understand why you never wanted to talk about this case." I said, "This is why. Yeah. This is why. As much as I can talk about this case and can go all in with the different things of this case, this is why. People are nuts."
Exactly.
And here we are talking about this bullshit again.
Right.
When just 2 counties from me, there was a bust where a trafficking ring was broke up. Most of my family's law enforcement. They can't give me inside information. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to break the law for me.
Right.
I know so much about it, and there's things that we could pull. I mean, there's bad things happening in the world that we can bring awareness to without talking about this bullshit all the time.
Right. I'm tired of it. Fancy and I said that on the phone in that 30-minute phone call we had a month ago, that we were both tired of it and moving on. And then within days, she's sending me a long-ass text message just calling me a cunt and blocking me again.
Let me tell you something funny, though. I know we're starting to have to go, but I have the text message she sent you. And then I have the text message where I reached out to her to tell her that I wasn't planning on pursuing, the state board thing. And you could tell the difference of how she spoke to you and how she really watched herself when she spoke to me. And then she went on the live and saying that she was sending that I blackmailed her to the board.
Well, that's why she was nicer in those messages, because
the board's going to have it. Well, should by now. They're going to have it all. You're not going to choose and pick what you send them. If you're going to send it, they're going to get it all.
Yeah. Well, we're not playing this. I'm over it. Stop it. Stop accusing me of the shit that I wasn't involved in. Everybody got involved in the drama back then. Everybody.
Right. I don't think one of y'all was any worse than the other.
No. Everybody was involved in it.
And what was so funny about April, the first night she went on Natasha's live, and I know a lot of people don't like Natasha, but she just makes me laugh. She just makes me laugh. Her faces make me laugh. Fancy was like rambling, and Fancy's like, I don't even, in her southern drawl, I don't even know what started it between you and I. And Natasha looks straight in the camera. She's like, I do. And Fancy's like, I just remember saying something about your boobs and your face, and you got all mad. And Natasha's
they were already fighting at that point. And
Natasha said, you called me a liar.
Yeah. Well, she went into her group. What Natasha told me when her and I talked, when we made amends, was that Fancy had gone into her group trying to tell her how to run her own group, and it pissed her off, and the fight started.
Natasha said, you told me I didn't know what I was talking about. And April says, well, you didn't. And then, Natasha goes on about how she talked to these people. And April's like, well, at the time, I really didn't think you did. And Natasha's like, yeah, you called me a liar. And Natasha didn't even know what she was talking about the boob comment.
Yeah, it was so stupid. Well, then she was starting to spin it then. There were little hints that it was me. And then was it last night? Whatever that live was on Natasha's Rumble was all me. Really? Really? Own your own.
Fancy probably knows that I go into Natasha's live and I talk with them. We're not talking about Fancy. Half the time we're not even talking about Gypsy. Most of the time it's battles and just chit chat crap, right? I didn't even know Natasha and Bree was having issues until I went to Natasha's the other night and they were talking about it. And I'm like, really? Because I mean, I even went on, that was the night I made a Rumble because I didn't know what started it. Now, you know, I'm nosy. I want to know what started it. Because I didn't have a clue that those two were going at each other. Or that Bree was going at Natasha. But most likely she knows that you and I are close. She's mad at me over Colleen, which she can continue to be mad. And you're connected to me now, no matter how bad you hate that. You're stuck with me. So she wants Natasha on her side, and two, because Natasha's going after Bree, you know, is fighting back with Bree, and she hates Bree, and Natasha hates Bree, and you know, a friend of my enemy is a friend of mine.
And
Or
just
an
so
enemy of my enemy is a friend
I've
of mine.
had a few conversations with Veda Jade. I'll be finishing those conversations with Veda Jade, and if she wants to use it, then I'll be sharing all of that over there because I told her I'd give her proof of everything that she has questions about. And then the anti-bullying community on TikTok has reached out. They're wanting to start paying attention because they don't like how we're being bullied. I mean, she is flat out at this point bullying me and Kendall because we're not doing anything. We're over here minding our own damn business.
What I did, I stand on. Brandy had nothing to do with it. Nobody has nothing to do with it. And I will continue to see it through. I hope nothing comes of it. I hope Colleen doesn't really get in trouble. I just want to make awareness. You got power in your words. But I did it on my own. And that's the only thing I'm going to follow up with, except her lying. She continues to sit over there and lie. I'll continue to show people she's a liar.
I mean,
I
said if she'll leave me alone, I'll quit talking about her. I won't go in anybody else's chat and mention her name. I won't comment on videos. I won't say shit, but leave me alone. Just flat out fucking leave me alone. I am this horrible person. If I am as horrible in her head as she thinks that I am, this horrible drama queen and all of these things, this natural, what was the word? Something, another cunt, lazy, non-talented cunt, I think was the word she used, then she should be happy to never mention me again. I should not matter, right?
I don't know why she's so
she loves to
obsessed
make fun
again
of
with
my
you.
channel and my numbers and that I don't do this and I don't do that and I can't do this and I can't do that. Then good, go away. Leave me alone. I don't matter.
We're not trying to build a company. This is a hobby for us. We're not trying to build.
I have a business, right?
You know, we're not trying to build a business. We both have, we both are okay financially. We don't have to depend on pennies and begging dollars and all of that stuff. It's not a company for us. It's not a business. It's not. You can't compare the two. If we were sitting here saying we're trying to build a business from the ground up, then come at us with it. But as far as my TikTok, I got rid of 1,200 followers the same time I blocked Bree.
There you go, Dawn. I dropped it again.
I absolutely don't care about. I have my followers that I care about. I have my little circle that's there. Every once in a while, a new one will come in. I'll strike up a conversation. And I'll enjoy talking to them. But I don't care about a platform. I burned that one down. I'll just start another one. And Brandy's not trying to build a company. And we're not selling our signatures for $5.
Plus an extra,
hey guys, sorry.
Plus an extra, what was it? $10 for shipping.
I told Natasha the other night in her live, I said something about she's saying something about Bree showing her mugshot or something. I said, you should sell pictures of it and sign them and sell them for $5. She didn't see my comment, but jump on that $5 train.
She autographed it years ago and put it up on Facebook for everybody.
And then
I remember
me a
that
message this morning on one of my TikTok videos that was me making a fancy bingo card like they did on Gypsy. I was making fun of it. This poor girl comes in there and she says, ain't you got a mind of your own stealing my ideals? And that it's like, are you that blinded by it was sarcasm? It was literally making fun of your Gypsy cash cow bingo card.
Yeah, she doesn't get it. She thinks everything's copying her instead of making fun of her.
I'm like, I told Sarah, I'm like, you need to deal with her her sarcasm and her shit. What was the other thing I told her she had to deal with? I forget, but
Oh, I can't remember what it was, but I seen that this morning.
yeah. Because she was trying to say that when Gypsy wrote her book about standing up, that she literally meant stand metaphorically.
Oh my God, that was hilarious.
Yeah, and then she was trying to talk about you stood up here, you could, and poor Sarah was like, she means that metaphorically. And
she shut her down.
No, Sarah.
That's funny.
I'm telling y'all are seeing the breakdown between Fancy and Sarah, and when that little trauma train ends, it's going to explode. Sarah ain't going to continue to put up with that. She just isn't.
Well, I'm just going to say I get to watch all this because I have people like exposing the Good Wives Network that actually clips it, so I don't have to go watch all the crap. So thank you.
Thank you, exposing. We appreciate it.
I'll tell you too, she don't post anything without the proof. The girl does her work.
She's been good about it and Kendall's been good about it. When they've had anything just slightly off, I've messaged them and said, hey, this isn't how that was. It was whatever, XYZ. And it's been little things. It hasn't even been real big things, but it's those things that April can point out. You know, and Kendall and both exposing have been quick to fix it.
Yeah. I'll always want my stuff legit.
Yes, Kentucky, they're charging $5 per signature, $5 for April's, $5 for Colleen's, and then an extra $5 so that they can ship it back and forth to each other. So the book ends up being like $37.
For
no, I don't think so.
An ebook that is recycled.
I mean, I have several signed autographed books. I got my Surviving Waco book signed, and I mean, it didn't cost me extra. I got it from their website, and when you bought it from their website, they signed it and gave good little messages to you and sent it to you.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I think I paid $20 for the book, and that's with shipping. Let's see, I have a signed autographed book from Tia Torres from Villalobos Rescue, Pitbulls and Parolees. I have hers. I didn't pay extra for that one either, which is a way more exciting book than what this one's going to be. I don't know. I have another one. Hell, Stephen David Lampley told me to send my books to him and he'd sign them and send them back to me free of charge.
Well, I tell you what, Exposing put something up the other day that she's claiming a different weight than the book even weighs to get more on shipping. Or possibly that's what she's trying to do is get more on shipping.
Wow.
Like for the book to weigh what she's saying it weighs, it would have to be an encyclopedia. It's probably, I would guess it's probably going to be about 120, 150 pages, if that.
But, you know, hey, I have to give her a little bit of credit because she did finish her book.
Who?
Fancy.
Did she?
And ain't that the book she's selling? Isn't it finished?
She had to keep pushing the date back because
she pushed the date back to the end of May. It's not through, so she's selling it.
She keeps coming up with an excuse. It's supposed to be April the 1st was pre-orders. By the end of April, you're going to get it. Now she's changed it. It might be the middle of May. It might be the end of May. She found out she could push it back a month. Colleen was supposedly had pneumonia. Fancy was supposedly sick. What was another excuse? Oh, her laptop took a shit. She's always got an excuse. Why that book's not coming out.
Crap. Okay. Well, I was going to give her credit for finally finishing something, but damn, I'll take it back now.
Isn't it just transcribed from the podcast? Isn't that what they've said?
I think so.
I mean, did you look at the posting on Amazon? Exposing pointed that out too. There was like 20 errors in the posting on Amazon for the book.
Yes.
That's the quality we get in here. That's the quality. Look, Rebrand, I'm going to laugh with this one. Rebrand says, Lord, please tell me she hired an editor.
I hope ever who posted the Amazon's not the editor.
Right.
I think Sarah's, it seems to be, I know she can come out with some nasty stuff out of her mouth, but overall she seems to be book smart.
I don't know Pink Cat Sarah enough to have any kind of opinion. She was in.
I've talked to her, not often, but I did talk to her. We started talking a little bit during the time that picture was put up. We started talking.
Was she
coming? I made a truce with her.
Well, and I told her that one time when she come in the chat, it's not okay for them to have your child up there. And if who is it? And I'll show it, send it to me, because I've never even seen it, and I publicly said, don't do this. It's not okay.
Well, I made a truce with her. I had called me. I sent her a message after that, telling her that I was trying my best to find out who it was and to get it down. That led into us talking. I called her out about the stuff that she had wrote about Bree. She gave her explanation. I gave my explanation. I told her why this hurts more than just Bree. And then she ended that paragraph with, I'm not transphobic, Kendall. I promise I'm Bree-phobic. That set me off again, because I told her, I was like, you're not even getting what I'm saying. You're still using the same verbiage. You're just putting Bree in front of it, but you're still attacking the community. And I told her some personal things. She told me some personal things of how those words affected me and how it affected her. And we started then talking about the Grace. What was that little girl?
Natalia Grace.
Yeah, we started talking about that. We had like a real conversation, and I told her, I call it truce. I will take everything I have down on you, as long as you're not body shaming or attacking other women. If people's going to clap back at you, clap back at them intelligently. Don't go after their looks. Don't go after things they can't change. Don't go after a mole on their face or the way they talk. Don't do that stuff. And
when you go after looks, you've lost the battle.
Right.
Yeah.
I think she should clap back, because there's been a lot of things that's been said to her, but it's because of her actions. But clap back intelligently. And I thought we were okay, or that, she was doing better. And then I get slapped one day with 100 emails or DMs of how she called Kim a 60-year-old prostitute. And I'm like, oh, here we are again.
Right.
Here we are again. And she said that Kim had done some horrible things to her, because I was asking her, why are you doing this? And she said that I did not wait for her response to explain why she said what she said, which I wasn't at that point going to accept any more excuses, right? I done heard too many. And she said that Kim had done some horrible things to her. And I said, tell me what Kim's done to you, because I promise you, if I would have known that Kim had done anything horrible on that level to her, I would have had a talk with Kim. I would expect anybody to have a talk with me. There's a certain line you just don't cross.
I don't know if Bitch Talks is still in here. She's the one friend that I have on the YouTube streets, for the last few years. That's been, her and I are real good with going to each other and saying, hey, might want to reel that back in. That wasn't,
Right. I want my friends to hold me accountable.
Right.
And you have.
Exactly.
When I posted something that's went too far or not quite accurate, my phone's dinging.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, that's like, Brandy seems to be the one that has more of the my temper is horrible, guys. I mean, it is, and it's something that I've worked on. and if I'm upset, I go to Brandy, I mean, and Brandy will kind of level me out a little bit and be like, no, you don't need to say that, just let it, let it be, think about it, don't let the emotions get in there, let it roll. That's
why when you were wanting up on panel that night, me and Brandy were talking, and like, we don't need that to be a spare of the moment decision for you.
Yeah.
That we want to make sure you're thinking that out before you speak.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
About that.
Because here's the thing, when Mama Dukes finally lets it all out,
heads are going to turn.
Yeah.
Heads are going to turn.
It's going to be explosive.
I may break the internet that day. I don't know.
If she ever does it, she might find peace with it, that she don't ever even want to speak. And then again, if she does,
exactly.
I'm here for it.
And that's the thing, there's a lot of people that do want to hear me speak, but they also understand if I don't ever speak, but they're not going to lose respect for me on that side. No. It's one of those that, and I even had somebody just tell me, just write a book and put it out that way, and talk about your experience with this case and your other cases, do like a memoir thing,
I don't think that's a bad idea.
I thought, well, that I might do that. I don't have a lot of free time, but when I want to degress and
it would probably help you unload stuff emotionally too.
Yeah.
Start with a small thing. Let's do the Kelsey breath.
Yeah, Kelsey Barrett, that case right there, I was involved in that case too as well, and I had a big hand in Crystal Kenny getting pulled in. My team and I worked together, and we got Crystal Kenny pulled in on that one.
We can share the craziness that was Dad with the phone that was going on during that time.
Oh my God, yes. Oh, don't even remind me of that man. But I hear he's had some issues come up, and within the past few years, and my heart goes out to him on that part. We can. That's the thing, is we can not like somebody and not speak every day and not like their ethics and what they do, but when we hear things that happen in real life about people, that's the one thing I can say about creators, and the creators that I know, and the true crime, the old school true crime family. We do extend an olive branch and say, hey, sorry to hear about what happened.
Yeah.
When I made amends with Natasha, it was literally because there was a I'm gonna call her a creator because she did have a channel and then she did do things. Her name was Mandy. And if those that are in here that remember those days, they'll be going, don't say it, because we don't say it more than once, because then she appears.
Yeah.
She served time for making threats to bomb a school. So she's kind of out there. Well, she made threats to Natasha. She was threatening Natasha's family. And I was watching the people that I had been friends with not calling that out as not being okay. They were just like they were just there. They weren't supporting it, but they were not speaking out either. And I'm like, I can't be a part of this. This is not
right.
I may not like her, but her and her family should not be threatened this way, because it was like a 6-hour live. Like, it was insane, the things this woman was saying. And I went to Natasha and said, I hope everything's okay. And can we talk? And I went up on her panel and we had a very long conversation and made amends. And it because I couldn't, that wasn't okay. Those threats were not okay. That whole thing was not okay. And now that I would make friends with her later on, and it was totally confusing. And I was like, okay, now I'm out again, But you have to be real.
Hey guys, I hate to cut my end short. Big Daddy just surprised me and took me to my favorite sushi place, so I got to decide what I want.
Have fun. We're about to end anyways.
So, but guys, thanks for listening. It's as always, it's been real, and stuff like that. And hopefully some people will get it through their heads that we go on with life.
And we're all not one big person.
And we're not one big person. We're all doing our own things, and that's one thing I can say is Friday, when Gypsy jumped in Fancy's live, and I heard Sarah was ragging on Nina, and then I heard Mia had her on live, and Gypsy popped in there to take away from her sister. I was like, well, I wasn't anywhere around. I had nothing, I had people texting me and telling me stuff. I was like, wow, I get busy one day and I miss what's going on, and my name was thrown out.
Dawn, is that it's all happening and we're not anywhere around it.
We're not that's what that's what my thing is, is I was busy farming that day. We got all that food we had to get in containers and get sorted out, and and then we had a couple other things go on, and that food, I'm telling you, I didn't get finished with that until Saturday afternoon, y'all.
Most of the time, I don't even know what's happening.
And so, I mean, that's the thing, is we go on with our lives. We live our life.
If Exposing didn't text me and tell me, hey, did you see this? Or, hey, this is going on now. Or I wouldn't even know what I know, because I won't give fancy views. Most of the time, what I see is what Exposing shows me. And then if it's something that I want you girls to know, I will hit both of y'all up and say, hey, this just happened.
I'll show you how to do it without her getting a view.
But anyway, guys, I love y'all. I will talk to y'all later. Hopefully people understand that we ain't involved in this. We ain't got
we're our own
I don't have a dog in
individual
the
people.
fight except that my name keeps getting mentioned.
And I will still say, if I find out who did it and it's a lie, I'll go after them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But anyway, y'all have a good day.
You too. Y'all have fun.
Okay. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. So yeah. I had wanted to come live this week and talk about that case that popped up. Maybe I'm talking about it next week because I need something to talk about next week. So maybe we can talk about it next week.
Well, we still have the acetone case that.
Yes, we still have that one to do.
Still have that one. I'm really interested in this trafficking case that happened a couple of counties over. It's still, it's still really new. So
next week will be a crazy busy week for me. So whatever we talk about will have to be something that can be done easily. Because I have Ren Fair kicks off next Saturday and I have to finish getting the last few things I need and things made and things done. And probably Thursday and Friday, I'll be moving everything out there and getting everything set up. And that way, Saturday morning, I can go out there right before opening and just be ready to go. So I
guess Chase is going to find you.
Okay. Crystal, I don't know. Who do we want to talk about next on Killer Moms? Do we want to do Andrea Yates?
Oh, that one's a hard one.
That's one of my favorites.
It's just
or
so heartbreaking.
Or Dying Downs. That one I can almost do in my sleep.
I still think the acetone case is really interesting. Just
can we throw that as a mom secret? We can just do it separate. We'll do it. Actually, I'm gonna let Kendall do that one. She's got all that information.
What? I'm gonna do acetone Thursday?
Yeah, next Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can prepare for that. I have everything. I just need to do an outline. So
thanks, LM Dragon. Have a good one.
I appreciate you guys coming over.
Alrighty, guys. We will see y'all Thursday. Make sure y'all come back and give Silas all the love and the views Thursday while he tells his story. His time at the school is fairly new. It was right before it closed. So be very interesting to hear. He did not know Mommy Rambling's husband's name, so he did not have anything to say on him. Crystal, I've actually talked to her brother, and he's just as insane as she is. It's the weirdest thing. It's the one interview I did with Fancy that we never put out, and I wish I had it. She won't give me credit. It's fine. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna hop off of here and get some work done. And y'all have a good, what day is it? It's Tuesday?
Tuesday. I have ball games tonight. That's why I was telling you that.
Yeah.
It's going to be loud here because I got some repairs that's going to be done while I'm at the ball fields.
Y'all enjoy your day. Thursday, we have the live. Friday, my kids are doing Mother's Day dinner. And Dave, and then we'll be out at the thing. We have soccer games Saturday and then back out at Ren Fair getting some things done. And then Dave leaves Sunday. And then next week, woo, busy.
My daughter's taking me on a riverboat ride Sunday.
Oh, y'all have fun.
I've never been on one. I wanted to do, because I love art and I do a lot of oil painting. And she had scheduled, I don't know if y'all got it there, but painting with a twist.
Yes, I love painting with a twist.
Okay, well, she had scheduled that. And I was like, okay. Because, I mean, I was happy she did something like that, like on her own without saying, hey, Mom, what do you want to do for Mother's Day? Right. And I said, okay. I said, that's cool. And then she said, well, you do this for a living. Maybe we should do something else. And then she texted me yesterday morning and said, I got the perfect thing. I just scheduled us for riverboat rides. We're leaving like at 8 o'clock and not getting back to like 2 in the afternoon. It's brunch. So
that would be fun.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize it was Mother's Day. I've been so busy. I haven't been paying attention. A week's worth of flooding kind of makes the whole world
right.
Flooding. And my daughter texted last night in our family chat. And she was like, do y'all want to do dinner at the house Friday for Mother's Day? And I'm like, yeah, we can do that. Wait, when's Mother's Day? It's like, oh my God, totally forgot.
We had a cookout Sunday and all of Tyler's buddies from work, which is, officers, was here, and I walked in, and their wives and their kids was here, and 3 of them had just left work, so they were still in their uniforms. And I said, I should take a picture of y'all and post it. I said, I've got people threatening me with the cops, and they'd be laughed to know that I had 11 officers sitting in my living room eating burgers.
That's hilarious.
And, Garrett said, let me put handcuffs on you, and you post that picture. I'm like, oh God, it would run then. The
Can do it with
run.
like put the handcuffs on and then put your arms around their neck.
Right.
Yeah.
But all right, love.
Guys, y'all have a good one. And maybe at some point this shit'll stop. I don't know if it ever will, but
as long as she can make $1 on it, it's not going to stop. As long as she can get sympathy and views and pity, she's not going to stop. What does she have without Gypsy and this drama? Because if you watch her views in her company, there is very little views if it isn't about drama or Gypsy.
Right.
Pitiful.
I just go away. Go do your thing, and you don't just leave me out of it. Or keep leaving Jasmine. Jasmine. I mean, I'm sure you'll hear this or you'll watch and make sure you're sharing with her the things you said, because I'm fixing to. Just saying. Because I'm tired of this. Tired of it.
I think if a lot of us opened up our phones and shared a lot of text messages, though.
I was fixing to, but the messenger won't pull it up on my computer. So I have it saved on my iPad, so I'm going to do it on there.
She'd have a lot of explaining to do. But I love you. I appreciate everybody that's here, and we'll see you Thursday.
Bye, guys. This one.
We about to turn it on.